Hello and welcome to yet another Car Banter video, and this is the 2013 GL500 Mercedes-Benz.
We are going to be starting off with the exterior of this beast, and I mean, it's finished in this dark blue optional color. You have bi-xenon headlights, which we'll talk about them later, but they do have some features in them. As you can see, you have the big and bold Mercedes grille, of course, because you're a baller. I mean, this is what the car is about as well, other than being a family car. This particular model is fitted with the on and off-road package, which what does it do? Well, we'll talk about most of its features later, but on the exterior, you get a different bumper to the regular models, which also comes in with metal skid plates, which go underneath the car to protect your car once you go off-roading, which, I mean, I guess we'll never know what will really happen. Moving down the side, it's pretty big. I mean, it's around 5 meters tall, 5 meters and 30 centimeters, somewhere around this size. You have 20-inch alloys. Unlike the AMG models, they are a bit smaller. AMG models get 21-inch. You have a running board, which is an option, and also this one is fitted with the running board being illuminated during the night, which for some reason is an option. I don't know why, but it's an option. You have chrome accents, because it's an elegant man's car. It's finished around everywhere, over the windows, on the door sills. And I mean, over the rear you can kind of see this is where the design, mainly because due to its length, you can kind of see it gets a little boxy because of its size. And down the rear, I mean, pretty normal, pretty humble, I would say. Pretty normal, I would say. Regular traffic, you know what I mean? You have your numbers to signify your model. You have these tail lights. I mean, real exhaust pipes, unlike modern day Mercedes cars. If you go underneath, you can actually see the exhaust pipe, even though the actual blocky exhaust isn't quite it. And now we're gonna move into the interior of the car.
Okay, so now the interior of the GL500, we have the optional extended leather designo package, as it says here, which basically means that there's a lot more leather on the car, including this leather dash part, and with the contrast stitching in white. And we have the steering wheel, which you have this lovely material which feels very like posh, you know, expensive, with the like typical controls for Mercedes vehicles during the 2013 era. Like you have your standard controls for controlling like basically your computer, voice assistant, adjusting your volume, all the typical stuff. Then obviously on this side you have your turn signals, your like for the wipers, different options. You have like a few different settings, like weather off or like max power. You also have on this side your adaptive cruise control this car has, which is quite impressive, which basically means that the car like will follow the speed of the car in front of you. And yeah, there's also an electric steering wheel which moves like electrically, and there's some plastic gear shift paddles which honestly feel quite nice, like quite tactile to press, so nothing to really like worry about. Then in terms of these buttons here, you have like heated and cooled seats in the front, plus like an additional auxiliary heating system, and obviously to turn off traction control, like your hazards. And then you have like turn off your Parktonic, and then the same basically on the other side with this echo button, which I'm not entirely sure what it does, to be honest, but yeah. Then you have your climate control. Now this is a 2-zone climate control system, meaning you can control like, oh no, it's 3 actually, right? You can control like the temperatures, the 2 temperatures individually, and in the back also you have only 1 zone. Yeah, and then you have some nice cup holders which can fit like a good amount of drinks, including also the side storage, which can fit 1.5 liters bottle very comfortably. Plus you have extra space to put other junk.
Now for the rear seats, it's quite a spacious, 7-seater SUV, so The driver is 184 and I'm 186, and as you can see I have plenty of knee room, and headroom is really big, really nice. For the climate control, you got one zone climate control, heated seats for both passengers. This is for like where you want the air to focus on, so on your head or on your feet. Here, down here, you can see where you, since the car has TVs for each rear passenger, you can put the discs in to obviously watch the TV or movie. Here the TV, I'll show you, use this remote, and there's only one remote. Like you can just adjust, see left rear, then you can move it for the other screens. It also controls the center console. And the rear has, each passenger has like 4 vents basically. You got 2 vents on each side here, which is, they blow cold air. One here on the side, which you can move, and then one on the top. And then also, one thing you can notice here is that on this dial here, on the front it's like metal, this outer part, but here on the rear it's like kind of plastic and a little bit cheap feeling.
Okay, so cool feature number 1 for the GL500 is this car is fitted in with heated and cooled cup holders. As you can see, once you click it, if you want to cool down your drink, it shines in blue. If you want to heat it up, it shines in red. Second cool feature of the GL500 would definitely be these seats. Now, since it's a Designo package and it has got the upgraded seats, when you come here to the center console and click on the seat icon right here, your infotainment changes and you get multiple options on how to adjust your seats. You have massage, you have 4 options for that, for driver and passenger seat. After that, you can actually adjust the lumbar support, which pretty explanatory. You just click in here and you adjust it. You also have your backrest side, so if you want to get real sporty, pretend as if you're in a, I don't know, Ferrari, the actual backrest of the seats start hugging you, and it depends on how you want to set them up. So there are 10 adjustments you can make. And the seat surface, as you can see right here, once again there are 10 adjustments, and the further it goes, the higher the number is. And the third cool feature of the GL500 would definitely be the build quality. I mean, as a Mercedes, they're forced to do it nicely, and as the Designo package, we mentioned it, the seats are really posh, and on the dash it's extended leather, it's really soft, really plush, and you have the contrast stitching down the side. Also, you got these really cool kind of black, I'm not sure what material it is to be honest, but really cool material. And overall, everywhere you touch feels solid. There's the knobs are metal, here, everything metal. I mean, they haven't gotten it wrong, it's still a Mercedes despite the fact it's a Jeep. So, the fourth cool feature of this GL500 is the fact that it got fitted with the assisted drivers package, which means that if you fit around to here, obviously you have your different modes. You have your trip controls, you can have like from a set, overall, like speedometer, random stuff. Also, if you move through the modes, you have your navigation, so if you have set yourself a trip, it will show with arrows the direction that you have to drive to. Audio, that's for example for Bluetooth. Telephone, once again, Bluetooth related. And here is where the driver assistance package comes in. Back in the day, keep in mind, none of these were mandatory. Nowadays, cars have these set as mandatory, but back in the day, these weren't a thing, and it was quite advanced, dare I say, for a 2013 model. So you have your speed limit assist, which reads road signs on the road. Distance display, this is once you actually get driving, or for example, if you set your Distronic, which is the adaptive cruise control, you can see the distance from the vehicle ahead of you. You have pre-safe brake, which is if there's a vehicle stopped ahead of you and you don't do anything, the car will brake for you. Attention assist, this one is rather interesting. Somewhere in the dash, there's a camera which actually keeps track of the driver's eyes, and if it notices that the driver tends to close their eyes or just kind of gets a little nauseous in something, it will actually show a warning, it will beep, and it'll tell you to take a rest and get charged up or get a coffee. It literally says get a coffee.
Back in the game.
Back in the game, exactly. It also has blind spot assist, which has to do with you merging into other lanes. And lane keep assist, this is still quite advanced, I dare I say, even for today's standards. For example, if you're on a non-dashed road, and let's say you start steering over that non-dashed line, the car will actually use its brakes and it will steer you back into your lane, and you'll get a little pop-up of the vehicle and the lane you have crossed into. Also, if we go and make our way through again, this is your service. You have a tire pressure monitor, which is pretty cool, but you have to obviously drive for a bit to actually get the pressures of the tires. And last but not least is the fact that you can set different ambient lightings, which is daytime, unfortunately we can't show you. And also this car has been fitted with auxiliary heating, which means that you can just set the time which you're gonna go, and the car will either heat itself or cool itself depending on, of course, where you live and the season or whatever. And yeah, this is with the small infotainment system that the driver has. Now, moving on to the fifth cool feature that this vehicle has, and it is definitely going to be the 3 panoramic roofs that it has, which is absolutely outrageous. I haven't seen another car with this. So if we go right here and we pull this little switch, the shades of the both front row and second row retract, and you have your sun coming through into the cabin. And there's one for the third row right over there, which is tinted and does not get a shade, unfortunately.
Okay, so cool feature number 6. This car, obviously being a big SUV, has 7 rows, and it's very cool because all the seating controls are actually electronic. So you have this button here, which automatically, when you press it, opens the seat and moves this seat forward so that you can feel it, obviously. And then there are buttons here on this side and also there where we're showing them for the actual seats themselves, which raise.
You have to hold it down.
There you go. Yeah, which raise automatically as well. And then the actual rear, once you get in, like, the headroom's not really a problem, like, for anyone. The knee room, if you're a bit tall, you might like experience some problems. Like, I'm not that tall, so for me it's fine, honestly, but some people might struggle. So feature number 7, so for white people like me, being in the sun, sometimes like your skin burns and it's not very pleasant. And luckily this car has UV protection from the sun, so people like me, and I guess like other people, don't get burnt.
Cool feature number 8 for this car is the fact that since it's fitted with the on and off-road package, right here, if the camera comes closer, you have these dials. These dials are mainly focused for off-road. Once you decide to take this car off-roading, I don't know when it will be, but we'll show you. So, first we have multiple modes. We have sport, that stiffens up the suspension. We have winter, which for winter the traction control, the gearing changes in order for you to get less slip. You have a towing mode, which I guess adjusts the car accordingly. You have off-road 1, which if I do end up swiveling it, just like that, the car will raise by 1 level. As it is the on and off-road package, it actually gets 3 modes, so I'll show you what the second one looks like once it's ready. And lastly, the third height, which just takes time. pop the hood on this specific GL500. I just need to find the latch. Is it this? Yep, there we go. These GL500s came with a 4.6 liter twin turbo V8 engine, which, oh, there's a latch. This one's easy to find. Oh, there we go. So, what was this engine about? As I said, 4.6 liters twin turbo V8. This engine in particular produces around 435 horsepower and 700 Newton meters of torque, which it is quite a lot. For comparison, at this time, the BMW M5 F10 is in production and it produces around 650-690 Newton meters of torque. So you can imagine this engine does put up some performance. Other than that, the claimed 0 to 100 on the GL500 models is 5.4 seconds and the top speed is limited to just 250 kilometers per hour. And now we'll go and get some sound clips to let you guys know what it sounds like.
Now to power up the V8 and hear how it revs. I reckon it sounds quite nice for a non-AMG car. So now for the conclusion on this Mercedes GL500. Personally, I think that it's a really brilliant car. Like, it has all the features, it's really nice. But as always, like, I feel like every car which is similar to this and these kind of specs and size and whatever, and engine size especially, they always have really high maintenance. So it's kind of a pain in the ass to actually own it.
Yeah.
and that's what I think. What do you think, Albino?
I mean, that's fair. I think it's shit, to be honest. Like, no, okay, I'm just kidding. Obviously, it's a very nice car. I really like the color, actually. Like, the blue, I think, looks very nice on it. The interior, like, I don't mind it. I think I just like my blacks. What?
Nothing.
Not judging.
Like, I'm a simple guy, you know. But overall, like I'd say, if you want something which is like powerful, like has a lot of features, and like you can buy it for a good amount, it's.
How much does it cost now,
no-brainer.
actually?
Brand
Now they're
new.
cheaper, probably.
It was on the more expensive 100,000 euro side, but now I mean,
Yeah, but now you can probably buy it for a lot less.
30K.
just like most German.
But for what, like a 12-year-old car? Or whatever
Well, for
it is.
I think currently, if from the ones that I have looked over the previous months, I think you can get some of these for like 45. I guess the good ones go into like the 50,000 range euros, and the others, I mean,
Yeah, but still, like it has so much stuff, like compared to like even like an X5, for example. Or,
Yeah.
Like the new one, like it has so much. Like it's missing obviously the autopilots and these stuff, but still.
I guess these
like-
are new things,
yeah.
but for back in the day, this car's competition realistically wasn't any BMW, because at the time, of course, BMW weren't making any X7s, which are the three-row SUVs that BMW has. But this was competing with the Range Rovers, which really did put it in kind of like a really high class. And of course, I mean, this car for a 13-year-old like vehicle, other than the infotainment that's outdated, I would say that it has pretty much absolutely everything you need. Of course, if you don't wanna probably pay that much maintenance or in fuel, you can obviously look into the 350 models, the diesel ones. And yeah, I guess that's it.
Yeah,
Diesel.
that's.
Thank you
it's a good
guys.
car overall.
Yeah,
Thank
thank you
and
for watching.
subscribe.